I just wanted to make a couple of comments before we get into the official part. Yesterday, you heard me often talk about, and you understand because you've had them yourself. You have great days in Rotary, or great moments in Rotary. Yesterday, for me, was another great moment in Rotary. We had the privilege and pleasure of taking our guests on a tour of Government House, where the Governor was gracious enough, and Lan, Mrs. Lay, was gracious enough to give us almost an hour of their time to talk to our guests, to talk to us, and most especially to talk to a missing member of the delegation. Harrold and Rita's daughter, Hari, is a primary school young lady. She can't be with us at lunch today because she, in fact, is spending the day at Nailsworth Primary School. But Hari is a treasure. She is a lovely young lady. She asked the most interesting questions and asked about the lion on the crest and all that sort of stuff. And I told her about our coat of arms, about the kangaroo and the emu being on our crest, because they are two animals that can't take a backward step, they can only go forward, which she was impressed, and I was delighted that she was impressed. But Lan took her out the back to meet the cook and have a selection of chocolates and so on, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful Rotary family cultural exchange, if you will, and it was just a pleasure. The other missing people from the lunch today unfortunately had to go back this morning, and Brenton Wittenbury was kind enough to take PDG Boy and Alice Rise back to go on their plane home. The Governor said yesterday, about halfway through the session, tell me, the name Boy, is that a nickname? And Boy smiled, and apparently he was the only child, his family, and at a very young age he was referred to as Boy, and it stuck. We had a terrific meeting this morning of the sister club group, and I'm sure that Nick and Brian and others will get back to us in the coming months. But I just wanted to let you know that around about mid-August we are going to spend a week back up in Davao with some exciting programs, some hands-on work at the Kelliher Elementary School. We might even turn a paintbrush over and do a few other things, as well as talk and share cultural experience. We might even enjoy a day or so on a wonderful pristine beach on Samal Island, which is an island of contrast, because when we sit on the beach in the pristine water, a few minutes behind us is the barangay of Kelliher, which is quite an interesting place, but certainly not a place where the luxury of doing some of the things that we might enjoy. So it's been an exciting morning. There's some programs underway for world domination, world grants through Rotary, some further district grants. We heard from Harrold and Rita about the progress, and Anton about the progress. And so what I'm going to do in a moment is hand over to Anton, Harrold and Rita to go through a presentation for your enjoyment. But I would encourage you to let Nick know and to have a chat amongst your friends and your fellowship groups. And the more the merrier. It could be quite an exciting time, and one which I know all of us will come back having believed that we've actually added some value to a community. And so it's been a pleasure and a delight hosting our guests this week. We're going to miss them. They're good friends, and together we're doing great work in our respective communities. So without any further ado, could I please ask President Anton to come up and introduce his team to say a few words about Davao and his club and the other club and everything to do with the sister club agreement.
President Peter, my beloved classmate and big brother, obviously. Fellow Rotarians, guests of this club, friends, good day, mate. Good day, mate. That's what I first learned here. We are very honored and privileged to be being here, and all the hospitality and friendship that we will always treasure deep in our hearts. But at the outset, for you to know us a little bit better as a club and our community project, we'll be having two presentations. The first presentation is a quick glimpse of our Rotary Club, which is Rotary Club of East Davao. And then the second presentation will be more of our community service or community project. Again, may I ask the members of Rotary Club of East Davao to please come forward to be recognized. First is Director Harrold Kelliher with his lovely wife, Rita. And another member is a young-looking Filipino, Tim Longs. There's a joke that he has been having difficulty in convincing a tour guide that is a Filipino with his British accent. Come forward. So at this point, we will be showing you a brief presentation of Rotary Club of East Davao. These are our club awards. And at this point, I would like to call Director Harrold Kelliher, as he would be telling you about the service project of our club.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. First of all, I want to thank the club for inviting us and hosting us. Reg, thank you for all your efforts, your committees for all their efforts. Tony and Colleen, I want to thank you. I hope Rita and Harry and I didn't convince you to stay out of the bed and breakfast business. But I'd like to thank you very much for your hospitality. I'd like to update you on our partnership projects. First, our very first project was President Peter Neal and his wife Kim made a donation to the club after we visited Kelliher, the elementary school. Go to the next. This is pictures from their original visit. This is the healthcare center. Here's a little map of the barangay. The barangay is actually the smallest kind of political unit in the Philippines. There's about 2,500 people that live in this group, and they elect a barangay captain who then works with the local governments to bring almost on the same idea as like a city council. This is the way it's organized in the Philippines. This is the pharmacy. We helped the Rotary Club of East Davao help stock the pharmacy there. This is the entrance to the elementary school. We had a meeting there with some of the teachers and some of the officials from the education department. Talked to them about what their needs were. And then again, Peter, your president, made a personal donation along with his wife on, it's hard to believe, but in the Philippines, you'll have students that will disappear from the school system. And when they finally track them down and ask them, where have you been? They went home because their pencil ran out. They went home because they didn't have any paper to write with. So it's very almost sad in a way. But thanks to your president and his wife, they made a donation to the school here in Kelliher. They told us to spend the money immediately, so we had no problem doing that. We talked to the school. We found out how many pupils were in each of the grades. We found out what the requirements were for the writing equipment for that particular grade. We acquired it all of it, and then we went up there and we distributed it. And as you can see, it's mostly our members that were involved in the distribution, and we like to do, that's the way we like to do projects. We like to be completely involved. We not only raise the money, but then we spend the money and we make sure the money gets to where it's supposed to go. So. And here's some students. We had them sign a card for Peter. So everybody that received something signed the card. So there's some of the students signing the card for Peter. Second part of the project was they talked about the club maybe donating books. And there was some problems with the book donations, getting them through customs and trying to find the right material for the books. So when we spoke with the administrators at the school, they said they would prefer to have a high-speed duplicating machine, which allows you to make, it's similar to a copier, but it does an enormous volume. The input and the output of the machine will hold maybe 5 or 6 reams of paper, and you can generate thousands of copies. So it allows the schools a lot of times the school will only have 1 or 2 copies of something. It allows them to make a copy for all the students, to give the students something to bring home to study from. So we spent that money, we acquired the copier. We worked out with the supplier to train the teachers on how it operates and when to use it. And even though they're on an island a little ways away from the downtown, they offered to come out and service it every month. They'll come out and service the copier. So we donated that to the school, and that's in use now. The second half of the project was to acquire 2 Kindles. And they have a small library at the school, but it's very limited. And what we wanted to do is try to use these Kindles not just as reading material, but to replace a library, to do it electronically. And we purchased 2 Kindles, and we've been loading the books into them. And they actually have, Amazon has, if you search there, children's books, there's about 7,000 books there that come up, and a great majority of them are free. So I've been downloading as many free books as I can find what we want to do is keep it to early literacy, very early, like the ABCs, very early childhood reading. The reading level at the elementary school, I don't think for the teachers, it goes, in English is a second language for them too, you have to understand that, it's a second language. The teachers probably read it like maybe the 6th or 7th grade level, and the students less than that. So we wanted to set up a program, we'd bring these Kindles in, and then we would attempt to set up a program in a way that we will try these Kindles out with the students and see if we can improve their reading ability. And from what I've seen, I'm very hopeful that we're going to be able to do that. I think the quality of the children's literature that's available from out of the United States or maybe here out of Australia is a lot higher than what you'd find from the local English books in the Philippines. And I think if we expose the young children to real good children's literature, I'm pretty sure that they'll do the rest of it themselves. They'll teach themselves how how to read, and I think they'll enjoy it. So I think the whole key to it is getting good quality material onto those 2 Kindles. And I think once we do that, I think the rest of it will take place by itself. The other project we have is construction of an addition to the Kelliher Healthcare Center. You saw on the earlier slide some of the pictures. This is the back of the healthcare center. You can see they've already started to do some of the work on the roof. This is going to be expanded. Right now, there's 2 beds there. Anybody that requires major hospitalization has to be taken off the island onto Davao. There is a small hospital further away on the island, but it's extremely difficult. The travel along the roads is very difficult. A lot of it's done by motorcycle. So you can imagine a patient that's not doing well, trying to transport them maybe 15, 20 miles to a hospital, and it's along a road that's, it would be a rough ride for you and me. So we want to expand this healthcare center. And this is Darwin Santos, one of our members. He's engineer, civil engineer. He owns a construction firm in Davao. He's done a lot of work with some malls and universities and several other major projects, and he offered to come in and come up with a set of plans for us, and he came out there one day and took all his measurements and then went back and started working on his drawings. And I kept asking him, Darwin, where's our drawing? Where's our drawing? And he says, I'm working on it. I says, this isn't a skyscraper we're building here. I says, all these carpenters need is a picture of what you want. And these local carpenters are actually very talented craftsmen. And if you show them a picture of what you want, they'll construct it for you. So we finally got the drawing. You can skip to the next one. I outlined in yellow the current existing building that you saw in the pictures. And as you can see, it's 2 beds there. And we're going to expand that. You can see we're adding this whole section all the way around it on all 4 sides. And that was from the donation from your club that we're gonna spend doing this. And we may, in fact, expand it even more in this global grant if we decide that's the way we want to go. But this is Darwin's drawings of the outside. He has a lot of, I cut the notes off. He put a lot of notes on exactly how to do the construction, how he wanted it done. This was done, we originally had a different drawing of what we were going to add on, and we had the funding. And I told Darwin one of the constraints was we have to build this in a way that if we get a global grant, we don't have to remove any of it. And the other constraint was we couldn't spend any more than what we already had. So he came up with a very detailed list of how he wanted it built, and we'll stay within both of those constraints with this construction. And that concludes our update on all our projects. But I want to thank everybody here for helping us. And we were talking this morning about inviting all of you people out to Davao, and they said maybe you could arrange some hands-on for these people. And I said, we can always use more help. I said, as many people as you can bring them. We'll arrange the projects. There's no shortage of projects. So anybody who wants to come, you're welcome to come. We'd like to have people stay at the house. We'll offer that to anybody that wants to come out. And I hope you all can come out and join us. So we look forward to seeing everybody in Davao in August. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Harrold. We have prepared something for President Peter here, but before that, I was browsing over your club bulletin, this one, and then I noticed here that there's a caption, "But why are they here?" And then if you notice, there are 3 bullet points here, and the first bullet point says, "Promote friendship and understanding between the members of all our 4 clubs." Now, by way of realization, when we were touring the Freemasons building yesterday, I came across with this saying, which was posted in one of the tables. Roughly, it is translated like this: "There is no such thing as strangers. There are only friends waiting to be met." And that's what we experience, from unknown faces to known faces, and we turn the known faces to our dear friends. And that's what we really experience, and we are always thankful for that gift of friendship. And then secondly here, in the second bullet point, it says, "Coordinate and cooperate on the design and implementation of the joint projects." Now, if I may add to this, there is a description that each one of us is an angel with 1 wing. We can only fly if we embrace each other. So that's precisely the beauty of our sisterhood. You know, we all have 1 wing, but we can all fly if we embrace each other. And again, at the bottom of our heart, we are very grateful for the sisterhood that you extended to us. And then lastly, encourage inter-club visits for fellowship, cultural, and vocational awareness. I think Director Harrold already said that with all openness and perhaps humility, we are extending our invitation that you join the delegates this coming August in your Rotary visit to our club, which is Rotary Club of East Davao. Thank you very much, and good afternoon. At this point, I will be handing something. So we usually do this. This is a banneret from our club, Rotary Club of East Davao. So I'm handing this to my classmate and brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And another thing, I'm also handing to President Peter this pin, Rotary Club of East Davao.
Wow. Something else for the pool. Oh, but wait, there's more.
And then lastly, this is a personal token from our club to President Peter and his lovely and gorgeous wife, Kim.
Come on.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So once again, thank you very much.
Thanks. Ah, dear, it's really special and most enjoyable. I would be remiss if I didn't highlight that the action that Kim and I took to do something while we were there, not to sort of come in, shoot, and take over and then shoot through, was reciprocated by DG Doug and PPs Frank and Simon and Darcy, PN Darcy, who all gave a similar legacy to the purchase of medication for the House of Hope, the Walling Walling project. So Rotary Club of Adelaide and Prospect representatives left something behind of value, which I think is just tremendous.